Hello, beautiful people. It is me, Tasha K with Gotta Stay, and today I am genuinely excited to share with you some ways that we can reframe how you think about your budget. And this is of the utmost importance because if you don't respect your budget, you're not going to stick to it. If you don't value your budget for its role in your life, it is going to fade into the background. And I think that this is a huge reason why so many people are unable to stick to their budget and thus they don't get the benefits. And that is why right now in America, over 78% of people are living paycheck to paycheck and 50% of people who are making above six figures. So that lets us know it's not just about how much money you make. There are people at so many different socioeconomic levels that are still living paycheck to paycheck. But before we get into the video today, I want to take a quick second to say that if you want to support this channel, one free way that you can do that is by subscribing. And not only subscribe, but if you could hit that notification bell, because when I share a video, I want to make sure that you are aware that you know on this channel, my job is to share the message of financial freedom in a very practical and no nonsense way. But beyond that, I want to make sure that you get to live your very best life, that you get to experience freedom in all the areas of your life that matter to you, no matter where you are right now. So it doesn't matter where you're starting. I genuinely believe, and I know because I did it myself, that everybody has the power to create the financial future that they want for themselves. And that's what I'm trying to illuminate on this channel. So with that being said, when I talk about budgeting, one of the words that people always use is the word restrictive. All right. They think that their budget is restrictive, that is very strict, that is holding them back. And I want to redefine some of the ways that we think about it so that we can get excited about budgeting. So let's jump right in. First of all, what is a budget? A budget is simply an allocation plan that you create that tells your money what you want it to do. Your budget puts your money to work. And I love that for you because guess what? You go to work for the money and then you want the money to go to work for you. And that is what your budget does. It tells your money where to deploy and what exactly you want it to do. So what I want you to realize is that at the end of the day, you are the one that is in the center of your financial plan, calling all the shots. So once you understand your budget doesn't control you, you control your budget, that's when you can begin to reclaim your power and you put yourself in the seat of power as it relates to your budget. There are so many areas of our lives that we cannot control, but every single thing that is on your budget, every line item is there because you said yes, like 99% of the time. So your budget is simply an allocation plan that you create that tells your money what to do. It's not some scary thing that holds you back from doing all the fun things in life. And that brings me to number 2. What is the real issue with your budget? Why is it that it feels like it is restricting you? And the reason for that is not because of your budget, it's because of your income. You are blaming your budget for something your income is causing. If your budget feels restrictive, most of the time that's because you don't have enough income coming in to cover all of the things that are important to you. But instead of looking at your income, you feel that it's your budget's job to be able to magically make this happen because a lot of times when people look at their income, they don't feel a sense of empowerment. They don't feel that that's something that they can impact right now. So instead of dealing with it and looking over there, they blame the budget, but they don't even look at that. 9 times out of 10, that budget is simply going to fade into the background. So now we're not dealing with your income. We're not dealing with your money management. And that's where the financial issues pop up. That's where going into debt comes in. That's why we're living paycheck to paycheck, right? So if we identify the problem for what it is, then we'll actually be able to address it. So what I want you to understand is that it's not your budget that is necessarily restrictive. It's not the budget itself. The job of your budget is to help you have the life that you want. It's your budget's job to get you to the finish line of the life that you want. So don't blame it when your income is not incoming in the way that it needs to in order for your budget to run smoothly. But that actually brings me to number 3. We're thinking of our budget in a very particular way, and I want to see if we can transition into a more positive view, a more positive way we view our budget so that we can actually use it as a tool to build wealth. I want your budget to be your bestie. I want y'all to be like this. I want you to be addicted to your budget because that's what's genuinely necessary, because in the society that we live in right now, we have things coming at us from all different sides, all different angles. We're addicted to our phones. We're addicted to social media. We're addicted to sugar. We're addicted to fast food. There's all these things that are vying for our resources. And I want you to be that committed, that addicted, to your budget, because that's the only way that is going to be able to cut through the noise of everything else that is going on. And that's what we want. So some ways that you can look at your budget. Number one is like a guardrail. So imagine that you're going across a bridge and you see guardrails on the side. I've never heard somebody say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this bridge has guardrails. It feels so restrictive." No, that's because you understand that the guardrails are there to protect you. And it's the same way with your budget. Your budget isn't there to restrict you, it's there to protect you, because your budget understands that with so much going on, right, you might fall off the side. But when your budget put those guardrails in place, it's there to be a reminder to you that you actually have a purpose. You actually have a destination in mind. There is somewhere that you are trying to get to. Right? You can't just be driving any which way you want to. Based on what you said, you actually have to go this way. That's the purpose of your budget. And that's one way to think about it. The other way I like to think about it is like a treasure map. Look, you got to find a way to make this fun, to make it exciting, to make it feel like a game so that it doesn't feel like a joy killer. And when you think about your budget as a treasure map, it is basically your budget saying, if you want the treasure, if you want the money, if you want the bag, follow me. Come this way. Do this thing, right? This is how you get to the money. This is your map to get to the financial freedom that you say you want, that you say you desire. So if you want it so bad, and if you desire it so much, well, you got to follow me. And not only do you have to follow me, but you're the one who wrote me. You're the one who created me. So I'm just here to make sure you do the things that you said you were going to do in the first place. So come this way. That's another way to think about it. And I love that way. But I think my favorite might be number 3, which is your budget is a blueprint. The reason I like this is because it helps me understand that when you think about a builder, it doesn't matter if you are the best builder in the world. It doesn't matter how good you are at building. It doesn't matter how many things you've built in the past. If you want to build something of significance, you're going to need a blueprint. And the blueprint, you can't just be like, "Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what to do. I know how to build a house. I know how much wood I'm going to need. I know how many beams I'm going to need. I know how many nails I'm going to need. I'll just wing it." No, as a builder, you cannot do that. And so with the blueprint, it helps you to begin to see what is it going to really take to create this beautiful thing that you want to build. It's going to take something, because the blueprint itself is just a sheet of paper. So you wrote out the plan, but the plan doesn't mean anything, right? You're going to need strategy. You're going to need to be able to execute. What does that look like? That's what the blueprint shows you. And when you follow the blueprint, things begin to change and manifest in the real world. Something begins to be built in the real world. And that's what you want for your finances. So many people have financial freedom as an idea and a concept that may exist for them on paper, but what have they begun to manifest in the real world? What do their assets look like? What do their financial accounts look like? What does their life look like? So with that being said, I hope that I was able to kind of reframe the way that you think about your budget so that we can put it in a more positive light, so that your budget begins to be something that you're excited about, right? So it begins to be something that you become just a little bit obsessed about. And I have seen this happen where the budget goes from something you have to do to something you want to do. It's that moment where people see what's possible when they have a budget. They begin to see their accounts increasing, and now they're like, I want this. I want this for myself, not because Tasha is telling me to do this, but because I see what my future could look like when I do this. So I love it. I hope that you love it too, and that you begin to adopt some of these ideas or come up with some of your own narratives that make budgeting easier. And if you do, definitely let me know in the comments. I want to know, how do you think about budgeting in a way that makes it more fun, that makes it more exciting, that makes it less burdensome? And with all that being said, you already know what it is. You are not helpless, hopeless, or powerless. In fact, you are powerful beyond measure, and you have everything that you need to achieve the financial future that you want and to live your life to its fullest potential. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Gotta stay.